Welcome back to JK We're Mature, the podcast where we continue to talk about things that happened in high school. This week we're talking about some of the weirdest stories because last week was a little bit more serious.
So, Kay, of all of the absurd things that have happened in high school, what is the most bizarre thing that you can think of off the top of your head?
Okay, so I think we all had like the common experience of hearing about people having sex in the bathroom or people vaping in the bathroom, and it kind of created, I don't know if it was just at our school, but it was you're peeing in the vape room, everyone saying that was,
I
I don't know, I
believe
thought that was pretty funny.
I believe the proper term was pissing in the jewel room.
I'm sorry, I don't know the proper terminology. I was not one of those people. I was the ones who looked very weirdly at the grade nines who were pissing in the jewel room.
We were a
Sorry.
very brand loyal school.
Yes, when we decided to do something together, we're doing it one brand. I wonder how much money they made off our school.
Probably
Honestly,
more than anyone who's ever tried to quit smoking.
probably.
That's what they don't want you to know is that vapes were invented not to get people to stop smoking, but to addict children.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they made cotton candy flavors and stuff.
They're like,
Anyway.
oh shit, we're losing our cigarette market.
Oh
Better
my God.
invest in something else.
Okay, we will have another conversation about the ethics of juuling and yada yada yada. But I think another one of the big things that happened at our school was we had a lockdown because someone set fireworks off on the school grounds, which
Uh,
was not a good idea. Please don't do that at all.
I don't.
I mean,
I
it
think
did
it's
waste
also
class
funny
building.
because we know who it was.
Yes.
I don't know
Uh,
about you, but like I'm friends with him,
he was in a couple of my classes,
and it's
but
funny. It's funny because he's a really laid back dude who just
yeah,
had a lapse in judgment and set off some fireworks.
yeah. They weren't even like big fireworks. They were like, I think they were the little rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the school obviously like they have to take precautions seriously. And they had to call the police and have a lockdown in case somebody did have a gun.
See, I get that, but bringing me to my next point is that I feel like they don't take things all that seriously when it comes to safety.
Yeah.
Because there was one time, the same place where the fireworks were set off, that we were all, I don't know if you remember this, we were all with some friends, and there was this dude who didn't go to our
Oh,
school. He was like 25 or
yeah.
something,
Jeez,
hacking
yeah.
away at the shrubbery with a 25-inch machete.
Oh my gosh. Yes,
And
I remember that.
I just kind of went like, hey, and he didn't acknowledge me. So I went up to the office and I told the principal and the vice principals, there's a machete wielding man down the hill. And he's not hurting anyone yet, but there's the potential.
He does have a machete.
And so the principals, they were like, okay, we'll go talk to him. And they walked down the hill, and that's the last we ever heard of them. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
I don't
kidding.
remember follow up. Like,
No,
just like, well,
she came back, and I was in a guidance meeting, and she was like, he has been dealt with, and the police have been called. We think he is in need of some mental support. And I was
right.
like, okay, cool. But then she went around and told everyone that I was like traumatized by my witnessing of this man with a knife. And I was in guidance for completely unrelated issues, but I guess she
Right.
thought I was like holding my knees, rocking back and forth. And I was the last person to know that I was traumatized by this event.
I mean, I think there's been more traumatic events that have happened than that. Like, that's not even that bad.
Yeah, so what? The guy's got a knife.
Yeah, he didn't come anywhere near us from what I remember. It was just kind of weird.
Half the kids in our schools have switchblades.
Yeah, which I'm thinking of one of our specific friends. I don't think it was like he who started the story, but someone brought alcohol to English class and he ended up consuming a lot and
Oh
then
yeah.
therefore sprayed himself with perfume to try and hide the scent of it.
Yeah, no one ever accused him of being the smartest guy in the building.
No. Sorry. We're sorry if you're listening to this.
I'm not.
Yeah. It was a weird experience because like you were in the class with me and then like We're all just watching the person. I guess this person had brought it, and she was just drinking out of it, and we're just like, oh, okay, this is a thing that's currently happening. Like, this was a normal day.
If I recall, she brought it by accident because she thought it was a regular water bottle.
And then just our friend ended up drinking a lot of it for unknown reasons, just because he wanted to, probably.
I remember acting like a father figure to him and being like, I'm not mad, but I am disappointed.
Right.
I don't want to ever see a display like that again.
It was just weird, yeah. It was funny. Anyways, those are all very related stories. I'm sure we could have enough stories just about this one person, though. Like, honestly.
Yeah. What about the drug stash that was found at the ceiling panels?
Oh my gosh. I think I know who that was, honestly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I heard who that was too.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember hearing about that like they had pushed it up and they had I feel like someone said they had their ID in there too, which is just an idiotic idea.
Yeah, why would you keep your ID with an illegal substance?
To be honest, I could be remembering incorrectly. Please don't sue me, anyone. I don't know.
However, that would be a really good way to frame someone.
Honestly, it would be. But we've had the drug dogs come in, and they've completely missed people with like weed on them. Or like I watch people have to like go down the hill at lunch to try and avoid the drug dogs. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you bringing this to school?
I feel like the drug dogs didn't find anything because not many people kept it in their lockers or anything, which is like a common thing you see in TV and movies. It's like, oh no, the drug dogs are going to sniff your locker out. Because the only thing I remember being like a distinct locker story is that there was this one that wasn't owned by anyone in our freshman year, and there was no lock on it, so everyone who passed it and had garbage would put it in that locker. And then about 3 weeks in, you could smell it throughout the entire school.
Gosh, yeah.
Someone put like a half full chocolate milk in there. It was disgusting.
Teenagers are stupid, man. What are you doing?
Jeez, and then someone tried to cover it up by spraying perfume all over the place. And that was worse because it was just like, it smelled like a flower bed that had been fertilized with spoiled chocolate milk.
Yeah, that stuff's nasty. Anyways, before we make everyone throw up, we should talk about something else. I think one of the other big ones that when I was thinking about this and I remembered was there was some guy, and I don't think anyone knows why the school brought him in, but he was being paid by the school. And I don't even know what he was supposed to teach us, but he brought in a drum kit.
I know who it was.
I don't know who it is. Anyways, he brought in a drum kit, and he ended up handing out the recipe for meth and like patting everybody on the head. Yeah,
I hate him so much.
What? Do you remember why he was brought in?
He was brought in for like mental health week or something.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, one of the reasons I hate him is he went up and like touched the head of someone who had like sensory issues or something like that. It was like screwing around with their hair, and they were really freaking out.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them. That would annoy me.
Yeah. Well, he ran all around the auditorium. Like, he was all up and down the stairs. He was everywhere. And everyone's just, like, absolutely weirded out.
And then I also heard that he got paid 10 grand by the school board to do, like, 4 schools.
Yeah, I heard that, too. He got paid, like, a ridiculous amount. He literally handed us the recipe for meth, and we're all just, like, sitting in the auditorium, like, pardon? What is happening?
He told, like, a really weird story.
Yeah.
It was tragic, but the point was lost on all of us. He was like, so there was this one girl who went to a party, and she did everything right. You know, she drank, but she had a designated driver. And the designated driver crashed. She got stuck in the car, and her skin melted, and now she has had several reconstructive surgeries. And it's like, what are you teaching us then?
I don't know. That was really weird. Like, and he had photos too, which those could have been like really either grotesque to somebody, or that could have been like a trigger for someone.
Traumatizing, yeah.
Like that's not, who thought this was a good idea? I would like to meet them. Because now that you're talking about it, I'm remembering more and more, and I'm like, that was so weird. Because they had the entire school there. The entire
Yeah.
school was brought in to
I
talk
was
to
I
listen.
was furious. I hated him so much.
It was ridiculous. Oh my
And I remember my girlfriend telling me to be less cynical
gosh.
because I don't know, I think I was holding her hand, and then at a certain point I started hurting her by how tight my fists were getting.
Oh.
And she was like, dude, relax. And I was like, I hate this guy.
Anyways, I think we're gonna end off with like the biggest two stories that I remember from high school, which are the war of stickers against the entire faculty and the removal of the bathroom doors.
That was a travesty.
So to start, I don't even. That story is just ridiculous. Like no one could believe it. But to start with the stickers, there was this kid who was not famous, I would say, but he was well known in our school for being absolutely insane, like wild out of his mind. Just, like weird, but in a good way. Like he was weird in a popular way, I guess you would say. I don't know how would you describe him?
Pretentious.
I
No,
didn't know him personally, so
no. He didn't say he was gonna do like a jazz solo at a talent show, and then whipped out a piccolo and played like
yes.
hot cross buns terribly, and then ran off the stage.
I have the video of that.
Yeah, they were furious.
Yeah, because he was in the middle of talent show and they had budgeted time. But yeah, he put on, what is it, like those visor glasses?
Yeah, kind of
One,
like um
yeah,
the ones that the one guy has in Star Trek. Is it LeVar Burton?
I
Might
have
be
no
LeVar
idea.
Burton.
It's got laser sight. Anyways, that guy, he threw those on and started playing, and everyone's just watching him like, what on earth is this guy doing? Um, okay. So with these glasses too, he had super glued them to his face for his graduation photo, and then they being the administration, refused to put it into the yearbook, and so he made probably like a couple hundred at least of stickers of his face with these glasses on, and the entire school took it upon themselves to plaster them everywhere, like everywhere. I'm sure I have one somewhere still, but we put them
There's
all over in the spots like that nobody, so they wouldn't be cleaned off. It was so much fun.
they're still finding them now, and it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah, because people still have them, and like even last year, I put one up, and you try and put them in the spots that they're not going to take them off, or even like really random spots that everyone would see before they take them off. But it was so much fun, honestly.
I've found them on water fountains, the undersides of desks, the covers of books in the library.
Yeah, one of the teachers, like one of my favorite teachers when I was there, she had it on her laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yes. Okay, I think you probably know more about the last story than I do, to be honest.
Okay, so
Door.
was it? No. Okay, 2 years ago, we had a serious problem with kids vaping in the bathrooms. It was, nonstop. We set off a couple fire alarms, had to go outside during the winter, just a whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, our principal had the genius idea to outlaw doors to the public bathrooms,
It sounds so dumb, honestly.
so that they could see anyone who was doing anything illegal in there. So one day we went away. It was a Friday. We went away from school, and we came back Monday morning, and all of the doors were gone.
Yeah.
And the administration's defense was, no one can actually see you in there. It's not a violation of your privacy. So I took a picture of my friend standing in front of a urinal from the hallway to prove it,
Yeah.
prove that they were invalid. And everyone was outraged. A couple people left pretty strongly worded notes. I know my dad called the school board and pretended to be an elderly Scottish gentleman whose granddaughter went to the school, and blamed them for their horrible handling of the situation. And a week later, we left on the Friday, and Monday morning we came back and the doors were back on, and nobody ever mentioned it again.
Well, I also heard it was a fire safety issue too for some reason. I guess if they had a bathroom or a fire in the bathroom, then they would have to close the doors. I don't know. I think I have a photo of it somewhere. If we find it, if you're watching on YouTube, or I'll put it on our Instagram, of some of those, like one of the signs from there, because like people just put them on the walls for everyone to see, because the whole school was just kind of like, the heck, why?
Not to mention the fact that, like, not just visual privacy, but
Yeah,
imagine the sounds and smells of a public bathroom wafting out into the corridors.
yeah. It's also like just the idea, right? Like if you
Yeah,
have
the
that
principle.
door, you know that, because these bathrooms, we had main bathrooms that were right next to the main hall, which then they would get backed up so far, especially the girls. But yeah, no, it was ridiculous. Everyone was mad about it. Ugh, I don't understand, man.
And that didn't even stop people from vaping in the bathrooms.
No, again, I think like I have photos of people in the wheelchair bathroom, and they're just sitting in there, and they would leave it a mess for the janitors. Like they'd throw cans in the bathtub. You know, the bathtub. They would throw cans in the toilet, and they would put like the grade nines, man. I think it was mainly grade nines. They would just leave stuff everywhere, and I'd walk in and be like, "What are you all doing?" Anyways,
It'd be
hopefully, if
like,
you're watching
oh
this on
no,
YouTube,
it's a narc.
it's like I don't care. Just clean up after yourself. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways, that was. I think that's about. I'm pretty sure we have more that we don't remember currently. We maybe just repressed them. They're a bit too weird or out there for us, and we'll remember later.
Maybe we'll
But
have guests on who can remind us of some of the stories.
right. Yeah, we should have a guest on soon. That'd be cool.
Well, it seems like we've run out of stories for now. I'm sure there'll be plenty more in the future, but our minds can only handle so much at one time. Uh, Make sure to follow us on Instagram for some of the pictures that correspond to these stories. Thanks for listening, and we hope you have a great day.